And with your coming of age, you become more vulnerable as far as the punishment goes. This is the contradiction in which we are living and which we are creating ourselves to further add to the problems which are already so many. Now, those who do not believe in an answerability after death, I assure you, they will always grow away from their belief in answerability to here on this earth. So the more atheism is abetted and created by the society, more problems are nurtured by the same society for themselves. This is the essence of the problem as I see it, and I think there is no other way to resolve it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum from?
Marat,
Huh?
Middle East.
Right.
Jazakumullah khair. Actually, a question came to my mind yesterday with one of my friends, and what happened is, more or less in every butcher in Ilford, or halal butcher of course, or restaurant, they've got these posters that says, "Watch out from Ahmadi."
Pardon?
Watch out from Ahmadi.
Yes, yes.
And plus a friend of mine as well, they told me they're kafirs. I would like to know why exactly they call them kafirs.
I'll explain.
Yeah, Jazakumullah.
You know, before this happened, we know there is a long history of people buying indiscriminately their meat from Christian shops, the shops of the non-believers, etc., even buying pork. No such warning notes ever appeared. Beware of the non-Muslim butcher shops. Did you ever find such? Suddenly, when the Ahmadis, who believe in God, who believe in Islam, who believe in the way of slaughter, exactly as it is done in Islam, there are some Ahmadi butchers who become popular because of their honesty, because of their handling fairly with their customers and taking care of their interests. As these shops become more and more popular, there grows more awareness of economical requirement for turning away people from those Ahmadi shops. So that is why particularly on the shops of butchers you find these warning notes. Beware of Ahmadis. Why Ahmadis alone? The Holy Quran was revealed 1400 years ago when Ahmadiyyat was not even born, was yet to be born 1300 years after that. Although we claim it is the same rebirth of Islam, but let's, for the argument's sake, say that it was born 1300 years after the Holy Quran. What enemies are mentioned in the Holy Quran? Was it so that the most perfect book omits to mention the only enemy which should have been emphasized in Islam and talks of all other lesser enemies? And suddenly the mullah of today discovers, oh, what an imperfect book that was. It has been rendering warnings against smaller enemies. The real enemy is born now, Ahmadiyyat. And we must draw attention of all the Muslims against this potent enemy and forget about atheism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, and non-belief as such. What is pig as compared to the Ahmadis' slaughtered animal? They believe. You won't find any warning against pig eating, while there are hundreds of thousands of Muslim children here living here which freely partake of pig when they go to schools. They eat the pig sandwiches of ham, etc., whatever you call them, and not a muscle is moved in the mullah's body. Not a hair is turned. They are not at all agitated. But when it comes to anybody buying a pound of flesh from an Ahmadi butcher's shop who slaughters the animal and says, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, with greater care, if at all, any difference, then they are all stirred up. They say, oh, something will happen to us, we'll be destroyed. Do you find any logic in this? Now this is my question to you.
I've got another one. Prophet.
Now, first of all, answer my question.
Oh yes, okay. Jazakallah. I've got another one as well. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in hadith that the Jew, they divided to 72 sects.
Huh?
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in hadith that the Jew, they divided to 72 sects, and the Christian to 71, and the Muslim, he said, his ummah to 73 sects. And
in fact, this hadith is slightly misunderstood. What he said was that the Jews were divided at the time of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, before his coming. That is what he is referring to, not including Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, obviously. You understand that?
you understand?
What he refers to is the period just prior to the Jesus Christ. He said the Jews were divided into 72 sects, right? So also he says my ummah would be divided into 72 sects. First he says 72 sects. Then there will be a 73rd. He speaks of the 73rd as separate from the 72 he is mentioned. Now here the similarity between the overall Judaic faith will become complete when we add Christianity to the 72 sects of Judaism. What happened earlier was that when 72 sects were born, those 72 were rejected by God because of their so many deviances, going away from the right path or misunderstanding of the right path. They were overall rejected by God. Then the 73rd path was created within Judaic faith, we believe, and that was Jesus Christ, to whom the Holy Quran also refers. So when the similarity is spoken of, you should also look into the other aspects of the same similarity, and that aspect is not mentioned in the word 72 as referred to Judaism. It says 72 sects were born, they were all rejected. So also it will happen in my ummah, but then a 73rd Jamaat will be created. That 73rd Jamaat was also created in Judaism by Jesus Christ.
And he said there's only one from his ummah is going to heaven.
That is what I mean. So he said the one which will be the 73rd would be heavenly or heavenly bound. And the 72 would be hell bound. So this exactly is the complete similarity between Judaism including Christianity. And that is why he always refers to the re-advent of Jesus in the latter days of his own ummah. He likens the people, the Muslim people of the latter days, to the Jewish people prior to the coming of Jesus Christ, and says whatever bad habits had found their way into the Jewish people in their practices, their beliefs, etc., they would be followed step by step, so close that the resemblance of the Muslims of that day would be so close to the resemblance of the Jews of that age, as if like the one of the pairs of a shoe, or a pair of shoes, one of the pairs of shoes is similar to the other of the same pair. One juti is similar to the other. These are the words. One nal is similar to the other. So when this happens, the verdict is that all will be hellbound. Will they be saved, and how?